Okay, so when we left off last time, said we were going to leave off here, like literally right here after this door. So today we're going to talk about the first leg of Maridia, which I personally consider from here to Dragon. We're not going to go over Dragon today, but that's my plan, is to go from here to Dragon. Assuming that you did the entry the way that I mentioned at the end of the last tutorial, so you have the door open already, and then you do a wall jump here, and you do an angle up through the door on the right side, you'll come out pointing like this. This is kind of important because if, for example, you were to enter with an angle down, when you turn, Samus might end up facing down. Like that's a real possibility that she might end up facing down. And then if you try to shoot while she's facing down, the door will open and you might fall back through. And the first thing we're going to do here is shoot to kill this crab. Okay, so that's why it's important. Personally, I opt to use 2 missiles like this. You could also do, some people do a charge shot. I find that, is it a charge shot and a missile? I find it harder. Or you could also just blow a super on the crab. But you're gonna need to kill this crab, unless your name is a real cutie and you can do this ridiculous, disgusting short charge and get blue before the crab, which is like impossible. I don't know how he does it. Cutie and Zost and a couple other people are just stupidly good at short charges. Yeah, you can get blue before the crab. I'm gonna switch my my scene back for consistency between the tutorial segments. So, come out of the door, face left. I don't think, yeah, it's, if you can, yeah, okay, so you can shoot the first missile too early, but it's like really hard to shoot it too early, where it won't actually hit the crab. So, have missile selected, face left, shoot twice, and start doing your short charge. This short charge, if you decide to do it, and I'll go over the easier version here in a minute as well, of how to get this item. I do a multi-stutter 3-tap here, okay? So I do, like when we were talking about the back gauntlet spark, for example, or if you go back to my stuttering short charge tutorials, I talk about doing multi-stutters where basically I usually push on the D-pad 3 times, so like 1, 2, 3, and on the third I hold, and I press dash on the third D-pad press, so 1, 2, dash, dash, dash. Okay? So a non-stutter would be dash, dash, dash. But with the stutter, I do 1, 2, dash, dash, dash. The reason that a multi-stutter is so helpful here is because this is a short space. And so it is possible, like you can do this without stuttering at all with a 4-tap, I think. Yeah, but it's super tight. So if you do stutter, that's a single stutter 4-tap. And that was a multi-stutter 3-tap. Okay, so it gives you a couple extra tiles. You can get your charge right around here. Gives you a couple extra tiles to work with, so you don't end up here on the slope against the wall. So missile, missile, 1, 2, dash, 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 1, 2, dash, 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 1, 2, dash, dash, dash. You can also, this is harder, but you can time your missile presses with your first 2 D-pad presses. 1, 2, dash, dash, dash. 1, 2, dash, dash, dash. Okay. Personally, I prefer, for safety, to just delay my my short charge ever so slightly while I shoot my missiles first, for focus reasons. And then once you get your short charge, so you have your Shine Spark, you want to align with this plant here on the floor and do a Shine Spark up. That will get you the missile. There's a few ways you can align with this plant. Something that Behemoth recommended to me months ago was to jump over to it. I still think that that's a really good strat. The reason being that Samus moves ever so slightly slower in a jump. So it's easier to kind of gauge where you're gonna land and then shoot up. More recently, I've opted to just walk to the right and go. It is a little faster for me when I do it that way. You can tell how quickly you've done it based on how far to the right this fish is. This fish moves through the room constantly, even when he's off screen. And so if you wait for a long time, for example, and then you shoot up, he's going to be in the way of the missile and you'll Shine Spark right through him. But if you go fast, then he hasn't actually swam over to the left yet, and he's still sitting there on the right. So that's kind of how you can gauge how quickly you did that part. One thing that I would recommend against is holding dash while you're moving towards this Shine Spark. The couple of frames that you might save, and again, that's a might, that you might save running over to this plant instead of just walking, are hugely negated by the extreme risk that is bonking into any of these platforms on the way up. You can save probably 5 or 10 frames that way, but it's just so risky. Okay, so yeah, that was about 10 frames difference between dashing and walking. Yeah, 3 taps left. I'm trying to think. Oh, if you do end up over here on this slope on the left, watch out that you don't pump on your way off the slope, or sometimes Samus will fall. So, and she'll automatically angle up if you're holding angle up on the D-pad instead of like. So you're gonna crouch to charge your Shine Spark, right? And then depending on how you turn around, like what your habits are, you might accidentally angle up there if you're in a hurry. I've done that before. And that's actually why I dropped the jump here, because if you do it wrong, that's going to happen. So, my recommendation, even if you end up like stopping and kind of recentering yourself on the plant there, my official recommendation is just to walk over, because then you're not going to risk, messing up like that. The safest thing to do, actually, is to get a running jump up and do that. You just kind of align yourself with the right side of this platform right here. But that is quite a bit slower. I think it's like 30 frames slower, maybe 40. Depending on how you do it, of course. So, yeah, my official recommendation for the fast and safe, quote-unquote, strat. Walk, position, shoot up. Okay? Oops. See? And I still mess this up and run sometimes. And it sucks when I do, but that's just how it goes. If you cannot do this short charge, the alternative is to come over here and do a one-tap. This is quite a bit easier. It's like that. But it does cost a couple extra seconds to get it set up. Hope that makes sense. Yo, Domingo, thank you for the tier 1 2 months. Yep, no need to leave the room. No need to leave the room. Alright, so once you have this missile, if the fish is going to be in your way, you want to aim down and shoot 3 missiles. Okay? And then if you're going to moonfall, you want to land on the ledge over to the left. Otherwise, I think you just want to do a down back. And I haven't done this in a long time. You just fall. Okay, yeah, so you down back out of the hole. And then you stop on your way down. Like that. Okay. If you do the moonfall, you need to turn left first. Personally, I hold shoot on the 3rd missile. So I'm still holding shoot from that 3rd missile. And then you land on the corner right here. And quickly do a moonfall down. You don't want to hold right the entire time out of the moonfall, or you're going to hit that fish. So you do sort of need to maneuver it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Basically, I turn back to the left as I'm passing this platform, just briefly, and then I finish going down to the right. You do have to fire to moonfall, but I'm holding shoot. The reason you have to fire to moonfall is because you can't moonwalk without holding fire. But I'm still holding fire from the 3rd missile. Does that make sense? So if I were to shoot the fish and not hold on the last missile, then I'd have to press fire again and then do the moonfall. Okay. Deselect missiles on your way down. Whether you item select a few times or push your item cancel, it's up to you. I have a habit of pushing item cancel here, and when I was going over the room earlier, I think it's just because for some reason that's less complex to me. I wonder... Nope. Anyway. However you want to deselect missiles is fine. Just, you do want them deselected so you have wave beam. And then what I do here... Man, I can't get this spin. Okay, whatever. You don't want to fall all the way down, by the way. That's really bad. So I land, I shoot. I I believe I'm just holding forward here. I shoot, and then I press dash. So it's not like a one tap necessarily, but I don't want to be holding dash the entire time, because then sometimes, like, if you shoot wrong, you'll bonk the door, or it can make things complicated in the next room too, depending on like jump speed and stuff. Also, be careful not to shoot too early. You may think that you're shooting late enough, but if you shoot like here, for example, even though you can still see the beam and it looks like it's going to hit the door, a lot of the time it will miss. So shoot later rather than earlier. Hey, Hood Ruby, what's up? GG on 9th seed, dude. And then you want to jump late through this door, so like as late as you can, pretty much. So you'll still hear the jump sound effect as she goes through the door, but you may not even see Samus jump. Like that. Assuming that you get the late jump, you can just go all the way up like that. You can potentially save a couple frames if you do a down grab onto this corner right here, but it's a little bit awkward. Yeah, you can super the top fish. The thing is, we're trying to conserve our super missiles, so I would recommend against it, but if, you know, if it makes the difference for you, feel free. If you do jump early, like this, for example, you can aim down and wiggle left and then turn back right. And if you do it correctly, Samus will, she'll maintain her fall speed, or her jump speed, and move around the corner. It is not that hard to do, but for some reason I've been struggling to do it lately. So I'm going to try and show it, and hopefully it'll work. Like that, okay? So that's a way that you can kind of bail, not bail, that's a way that you can kind of save this if you jump too early. It was just a little bit too high there. But yeah. I think you can just hold down and left. Yeah, so I think you can just hold down and left as you're coming out. But then you're gonna need to time your right press still. I find it easier to hold down and then push left and then push right. And again, like, I'm just struggling with this lately. Like that. Okay. But ideally, jump as late as possible through the door. Come up. You'll have different amounts of jump speed here depending on how you set up, like where you started dashing from in the previous room. So don't just assume that you know exactly how long it's going to take Samus to get up onto this corner, or you might undershoot. If you do notice that she's doing a slower jump, it's actually faster to do one wall jump here, like this, instead of waiting. But sometimes you'll get a really fast vertical speed jump, in which case it's fastest to just let her go up. From there, you want to jump up here, jump down here, run into this hidden tunnel, and through this door. I'm going to talk about every strat here, which means a couple things. First of all, I do an auto deselective supers here, so after I jump right here, I move my left thumb off the D-pad onto select and choose supers. And then I run forward, I do a one tap, I shoot the door, and I charge my Shine Spark. Alternatively, if you time your super correctly, you can charge your Shine Spark after the door. The risk here is that you might bonk the door, And the only reason you would ever do this is to do a really dumb strat, which is actually a really awesome strat if you have Spazer or Space Jump, but we have neither of those. So notice I kept blue through the door, so we'd charge here in that case. Do you ledge grab there? On the hidden tunnel, yeah, it's a really short jump. It's shorter than you would think. So it's just a really quick little ledge grab. Yep, I'll show the dumb strat. I will. But first we're going to talk about the not dumb strat. So I do a one tap. So you ledge grab here, one tap. You want to shoot your super just after Samus comes out of the tunnel. Quickly press down to charge your Shine Spark, assuming that you got your one tap correctly, and then run through the door. The auto deselect is for the dumb strat specifically, and it's so that we can hold a charge shot. You don't need to do that if you're not going for the dumb strat. It's just muscle memory for me. And it will be helpful in GT Max when I go back to that. Alright, the main strat here, run forward, jump, count Samus's spin twice, 1, 2, and then shoot up. 1, 2, 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 shoot up. Okay. Some people use the turtle as a cue. That works too. The thing is, you're jumping low and then sparking up, which costs just a little bit. It's more energy, which is irrelevant because we're grabbing an energy tank, but it's a little bit slower as well. It's about 10 frames slower if you spark up from the bottom instead of the top. So that's why I started counting the spins instead. 1, 2. Okay. From here, you want to hold a shot, land on the energy tank. As long as you're on the left side of this podium, you should be fine. I don't think you want to be on the far, far left, or it might screw you up. But this isn't, like, overly specific. As long as you're kind of on the left side, it should be just fine. So run forward and off while holding a charge shot and angle down. And then shortly after the screen stops scrolling, that's when you want to release your shot. I've come up with so many different cues for this, and it seems like no matter what I try, sometimes I get screwed. It's not very often, but currently what I'm doing is I kind of pay attention to Samus's orientation with the missile icons up above. And after the screen stops scrolling and she's sort of under the super and the power bomb, that's when I'll release. That'll break the block for this missile in the wall and allow you to grab it on the way down. Okay. So, pretty basic. 1, 2, hold a shot, land on the energy tank, stop and wait until you land, run forward, release your shot, continue holding forward, you'll automatically grab the missile, and then hug the wall all the way over to the right here. Okay, and then here, you want to run forward until just before this turtle, which is going to be a little bit farther left, because notice how they're constantly walking right there. and then do a jump. I count 3 spins and then I release jump. 1, 2, 3. Shoot and run through the door. 1, 2, 3. Shoot, run through the door. Alright. For the dumb strat, what am I doing? Here we go. So, you have your super auto deselected, right? You run forward. You do not charge your Shine Spark. And you get blue through the door. There we go. Okay. Oh, you can get it consistent. I just didn't have a good setup for it. This is the part that you can't get consistent. So with Wave Beam, this is extremely particular. So you need to have a charge shot for this to work. Basically, you want to charge your Shine Spark right about here on the bottom of this slope. And then run forward and release your charge shot somewhere around this plant. This plant. Then you do a jump. It has to be a speedy jump, very specific speedy jump. Maybe the shot was closer to the top of the slope. There we go. So that shot broke the missile. So I was just shooting too late. And then you Shine Spark up, grab the energy tank, come back down, shoot, and go. That's the fastest way to get through that room. But with Wave Beam, it's super, super specific. With Spazer, it's a bit easier. And if you have Space Jump, it's way, way easier. But that's that. All right. Okay. The best way through this room, you want to release dash as the tunnel is leaving the right side of the screen, right about here. And then it's a blind jump, but you time your jump out of the tunnel. You get a speedy jump. You do a wall jump right here. Angle up, shoot the door, and then do another wall jump out of the room. Oats and Goats and I battled room times on this room for a number of weeks. It's kind of a meme, but it was also really fun. And ultimately, we both ended up doing a different strat that's really stupid and not run viable. And we tied our time. But yeah, as far as the strat to do in actual runs, this is what I do, what I just explained. Alternatively, you can release dash through the door and then repress it, like on this plant, for example. That is a bit easier, and will get you the speedy jump that you're looking for. But it's also slower because you spend less time at your top speed in the room. So you lose like 20 frames doing it this way, optimally, I think. You do not want to hold dash this entire time or you're going to get a lower jump. Like this. And then you'll have to wall jump twice. So, don't hold dash the entire time. My recommendation, like I said, if you can get good at it, and it is hard, release dash right about here. Watch for this leaving the right side of the screen. Jump out, jump up. The easiest thing to do is to charge a Shine Spark and spark up. But that does cost like an extra second or so because of the crash animation, etc. Okay. So that's that room. In this room, you want to run forward just slightly and then do a jump. Wall jump twice. Wall jump morph and then hold left. And that will put Samus in this hole. 1, 2. 1, 2. One, two. Hold left through this tunnel. Lay a bomb. I try to lay it further to the right. It'll save a couple frames. Maybe like 1 frame. I lay another bomb here. What that does is it slows the crab down. Every time an enemy takes damage, they get frozen for 1 frame. Frozen in place for 1 frame. So I lay a bomb to kind of delay the crabs ever so slightly. Roll into the super. Hold right during the fanfare. Unmorph, jump, remorph into the tunnel. And if you do it quickly enough, the crab will not bounce you back. Instead, it'll kind of bounce you forward. If you do it super optimally, you can actually make it past the crab. It's really hard, though. So, like, you can make it past the crab without taking any knockback from it. I'm not gonna waste time trying to show that, but it is possible. Alright, roll out here, unmorph when you reach the bottom, do a 1 tap, and then Shine Spark up from here. Again, a 1 tap. You can't just hold dash here, or you'll be too far to the right. 1 tap. And then you can just hold angle down and shoot after you crash. Release dash coming out of this door. That will get you a speedy jump. Personally, I wall jump up the left side of these. You can also do like a right, left thing. But I find the best results just going up the left. And then I preemptively, after 5 wall jumps, I angle up and shoot the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then land here, run forward a little bit, and jump up, facing left through the door. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold an angle here, or shoot after coming out of the door. I would recommend holding an angle, or holding up, actually. That would work too. Basically, you want to break spin so you bonk this fish earlier. And then do a damage boost over to the right. Pay attention to when this... I call them sand douches, but I think their actual name is Ouch. Like, that's their actual enemy name, OWTCH or something. Pay attention to when he goes underground, because that'll tell you what kind of a pattern you're going to get. So if he goes under immediately as you land, that's not a good pattern. So if we just run back here, we're going to bonk him. And if he doesn't go under at all, it's not a good pattern. So he keeps doing the same thing here. Okay, so since there was a little bit of a delay there, we can just run forward. And since he did still go under, we can just run forward. But yeah, if he doesn't go under at all, or if he goes under immediately like that, that's no bueno. You don't want to just run forward or you'll bonk. So in that case, well, okay, so I'll show the good strat first. So you grab the missile, and assuming that you know that you can just run, when you grab the missile, you want to hold left. I actually hold angle up on the D-pad. I shoot as I am coming through this right here, and then I jump when I reach this plant in the background right here. Oh, of course. So this time it's going to be bad because he didn't. Oh, he did go under. I didn't think he went under. Bonk. Shoot, jump, and then you want to just do a down grab onto this ledge right here and run through. Okay. If it's a bad pattern, you want to do a no stutter 3-tap. That will either make it so that he goes back under before you come back, or it will get you blue. And you'll just short charge through like that. From there, you just want to jump up, business as usual. Shoot the door, down grab, run through. Okay. There's a few different ways through this room, but I'm only going to talk about 2. And they're basically the same. Reason being, I recently discovered, I say recently, it's probably been a few months now. If you run forward and you aim down here, Samus will clear this gap, so you don't have to jump at all. And then if you continue running forward, this bug here on the left will damage boost you down into this corner, which has the nice side effect of giving you iframes, so you don't have to worry about what this sand douche is doing, because it's going to change every time because of RNG. So you have iframes now, so you just damage that guy, and then you can just jump up in here. lay a bomb, go about your business, right? There is like a damage boost strat. You can do that. That might be a little bit faster. But the reason that I like this is because it sets us up optimally to do the jump morph here. If I can do it. There we go. And when I say sets us up optimally, what I mean is Samus's position here is in a spot where she's going to have less jump speed coming up into this this corner. So it will be easier to do the morph. Because if she has more jump speed, then obviously you're going to have less time to get your second down press in. So if you start over here, for example, she's going to have more jump speed and less horizontal speed. You can still do it, but it's much easier if you start from like this corner area right here. The jump morph, how hard is it? If you do it with this setup, it's not as hard as you might think. It is still definitely difficult. But like, once I found this, it became so much easier. What people would do before is that sort of thing, which one, it's slower. And two, if the ouch is in your way, there's nothing you can do about that. Like, oh, he's in the way, right? But this way, you have iframes, so you can just run through him even if he's there. When I showed this to Oats and Behemoth and Zost, all of them were like, wow, this strat is really good. So, this is my major contribution to 100%. Thank you. This is my mark right here. It's my mark on 100%. So, good stuff. All right. Once you have morphed through here, you want to unmorph right here. Run forward and aim down. If you don't aim down, you're going to fall. And jumping is slower. So run forward and aim down to do a gap skip. And then you want to run forward and do a short jump across here into another hidden tunnel hallway thing. From here, I count 5 of Samus's footsteps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I jump. I also do some pumps. I think I just do 4 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, something like that. 4 R presses? I don't know. It's just do some pumps. Don't like mash them, but try to do the same thing every time. And then after the 5th footstep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's when you jump. You'll get a speedy jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can make it all the way up. I would say if there are any strats in any of these rooms that you practice with the intent of hopefully never messing it up, it should be this one. Because as soon as you screw this strat up, everything sucks. Okay? So like, let's say that you fall, okay? And let's say that the ouch isn't there when you fall, and then you jump up, and you try and get up, but these bugs attack you. And you're trying to get up, but you miss your wall jump. And you try and get up, and the bugs attack you, right? Like, messing this strat up sucks so bad. So, just... Oh no, we jumped early. We got hit by the bugs. And we lost 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it's so freaking stupid. If you do mess up, try not to panic too much. But optimally, like I said, if there's any one room in this segment that you want to practice, it's this part of this room right here. try to get a feel for when and how to jump here, so you don't screw it up. One of the other things that can happen is you miss this and you fall all the way back down, and then the bugs are in the way. It's just bad. It's bad news, so. Okay. Gap skip across this first gap, and then jump over the second, so that we can jump around the corner. I select missiles and I shoot down twice. If you only shoot down once, sometimes your missile will phase right through this guy, like that. So that's why I always shoot twice here. You can also do wave beam shots or a charge beam. Just come up with something comfortable that will always kill this pancake. You want to fall down on kind of the general left side of this dark space in the background. See how we're on the left of that and it aligns us. If you notice that you're too far to the right, just turn left as you are about to fall down and then turn back right. We're gonna grab the right missile first and then do a wall jump and grab the left and then do another wall jump and land on the middle. You're welcome to test other variations of grabbing these items if you would like, but that's the fastest that I've found. 1, jump, 2, jump, ledge grab, jump, wall jump, down grab on this corner, shoot and run forward, do a gap skip, and then jump and do a mock ball. The picture in the top right is from a band named Anamanaguchi. It's a cover art for their Endless Fantasy album. Roll off here. There's a couple different things you can do in this room. You can play it super safe. Just kind of jump, morph, roll through, go. That will cost a couple seconds compared to the optimal strat, but honestly, like, aside from just trying to make sure that you don't fall here or bonk here, like, there isn't much else to say. It's just kind of find whatever is most comfortable for you to get through the room and go for it. For the right side of the room, there's a couple different things you can do. You can damage boost, or you can, do a down grab and jump across the gap. The thing is, these bugs here are just so freaking annoying. Like, it's hard to find anything consistent. The optimal strat, my setup for it, I unmorph right here to the left of this. So unmorph, land on the edge. I pump once, that might be placebo, but that's what I do. Pump. When this part of the wall is leaving the left side of the screen, that visual cue combined with, again, Samus's footsteps, between 5 and 6 footsteps, that's when you want to jump. You don't want to do a full jump. You just kind of want to tap jump. And if you time it correctly, you can mock through like I did that first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assuming that you get the mock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want to time your unmorph as you're landing right here. If you do it correctly, you can KO this ouch if he's in the way, so you don't lose any time. If you do happen to knock at the mock, again, I try to KO on this ouch, assuming that he's in the way. And then I just jump up and jump over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go. We missed. It's okay. Just go. Okay. Alright. The next two rooms, there's a couple different things you can do. Behemoth and QD and I were actually having a discussion about this in Discord past couple days. So you can either choose to do a Moonfall here or not do a Moonfall here. The Moonfall, if you do it correctly, on average, can save about 10 frames. Optimally, it can save about 20 frames, but that's really hard to do. I'll talk about the non-Moonfall first. So, basically, you just want to come on down through. Alright, so kind of jump around this corner. Shoot the door, run through. Hold left out of the door. That will get you over to the left of the crab. And then you want to morph. Unmorph and down back. As you're down backing, you want to shoot this block right here that's going to reappear. And then just fall down through, select your supers, and walk through the door. That is definitely the easiest thing to do. And it's a pretty fun strat once you figure it out and do it correctly. I missed it down back there. It's okay. But optimally, what you can do is you can open the door and then do a Moonfall through the door. You can either go right or left side. If you go right side, you need to weave down through. Like this. And then shoot the block out. Left side, I believe you actually need to do it from the door, so it's a bit slower. I forget exactly how it works. I'm not even gonna try. But you can do a left side Moonfall. Here's a good way to do it. I just forget. Maybe like that. It makes this first room a lot slower, but you make up the time in the next room. But optimally, you do want to do it from the right. Now the thing is, if you do this Moonfall from the right side, you're going to have a bad door transition most of the time. So that was a 59 frame door transition compared to just running through to the left, which will fix the door completely. So that's a 42. So that's 17 frames of difference right there that we're losing doing the Moonfall. But if you swing farther to the right on your way down here, so that you have to move farther to the left to get in position, that will kind of fix the door. If you do it completely correctly and optimally, you can fix the door 100%. It's just really hard to do without either landing here or swinging too far to the left, trying to fix the door from here. So that was a perfect door, but we're too far to the left and we're going to land on this platform now. So that's kind of what makes this Moonfall hard to optimize, is the nuance of the door fix. But like I said, on average it should save about 10 frames, as long as you're not completely screwing it up. The weave is kind of difficult, but it's not as bad as you might think. Just make sure that as you're coming down, you're ready to shoot and then immediately jump through the hole at the bottom. Like that. That was not optimal. You can do that much faster, but like you don't want to land and then shoot and then go, because then you're basically just negating all the time saved from Moonfall to begin with. I shot a little too early there. But yeah. Once you get to the bottom, you want to have super selected. You actually don't want to spam pumps here. Just kind of run forward, jump, and shoot the super to open the door and do a mock ball. There is a way to get through this room a little bit faster than the mock, but I've noticed that it kind of screws with the lag in the next room. At least for me it does. And I made this really hard on myself. The weave usually is not this bad. I promise. So yeah, just run forward, jump, do a mock ball, and select power bombs. Lay a power bomb immediately coming out of this door, roll right, and then back to the left, and then right again. The reason we're doing that is because these snails either advance or don't advance towards you depending on which direction Samus is facing. So I'm facing right and it's not moving. Now I'm facing left and it starts to crawl towards us, right? When the snails are moving, they cause more lag. So if we roll correctly, we're manipulating them to not move as much. And they cause less lag. So if we do nothing here, if we just lay the power bomb and go right, that was 90 frames of lag. That was 61 frames of lag, just by doing the roll right, roll left, roll right thing. Okay? That's why we do that. I roll off, aim down, and do some downturns on these blocks as they're breaking to kind of force us down faster. You do want to remorph because that will reduce lag as well. And then unmorph as you're reaching the bottom. Wall jump up here to this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you time your jump correctly, you can kind of weave up through into the door without having to stop and jump again. So that is what you want to do, as opposed to doing like this sort of a thing. You do want to do just a single jump there. Okay. All right, this room. So I do a wall jump here and ledge grab right here. I shoot forward to do the ledge grab, and then I immediately angle down and shoot again. That will break these blocks and those blocks. Then you jump and do a quick drop through these crumble blocks. You can also just run through them if you want. It's just a little slower. You want to jump down right about here. And then you can shoot from here and it will break both of those blocks. You do not want it to be a Doppler shot though, or it might only break the top block. Of course I can't show it now, but it is a thing that happens, just trust me. Then you want to do a 3-tap or a stutter 3-tap. If you can avoid the stutter, that's best because stuttering takes longer. 1, 2, 3. Jump up, ledge grab, and run through the door. You can technically just jump through the door like this, which is really freaking cool. The problem is it totally screws with your door transition, which makes it slower ultimately. So a ledge grab is better. For anybody that uses my short charge tutorials, you know that I mentioned tapping when you see Samus's elbow kind of on the back position. The problem is if she's shooting, notice that you can't see her elbow anymore. At least not going to the right. You can't see her elbow anymore, right? So I've adapted here, and if I don't have the right cue, and really this is mostly just internal timing for me now, but I kind of validate that I'm tapping correctly using her backhand. So when you see her backhand come up above the gun, now, tap, 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 that's when you want to tap. Okay? So, does that make sense? Hang on, guys. Sorry, kids came in. It's 3 taps. Okay? And the cue never changes. So, it's just that this particular short charge is 3 taps. 1, 2. Alright. Botwoon! Okay, I'm going to talk about the decalled X Factor first. Why am I going to talk about the decalled X Factor first? I hate the Strat. I don't have anything against decalled. But I hate the decalled X Factor. It really just enrages me to the depths of my soul. But I'm going to talk about it first. And then I will talk about the way that I do the Botwoon X Factor instead. And we'll go from there. So, decalled X Factor. This strat is going to change depending on how much run speed you have coming into this next room. So some people fix that by bonking here, jumping and doing a down grab, and running from the left side of the ledge. There isn't anything wrong with that other than the fact that you are essentially throwing away the frames that the strat would otherwise save. Okay, so it is technically, the decalled X Factor is technically faster than the other X Factor, but if you bonk here and normalize running through the door like this, you're throwing all of those frames away, like, so that it literally, you're not saving any time with it. Does that make sense? Additionally, if you bonk the door and then run in, that's going to change the timing of how the thing works in general as well. So I am not the authority here, so keep that in mind. I'm just going to talk about this so that you have a starting point. There are other videos that go over it, and you can reference those if you decide that you want to do it after watching this. It's up to you. So for decalled X Factor, you need to have power bombs equipped before running in. This is very important. You absolutely must have power bombs equipped before running in. You also must not be holding a shot before running in. So you run through the door. After you run through the door, then you hold shoot. Okay. You run over to the right side. Shoot. I screwed that up. Of course I did. You run over to the right side of the wall, and then you jump. So let me redo this. I'm the best. Okay. I wanted to not have music here, but that's easy. I can just do this. Okay. So, you're holding shoot, and you run over to the right side of the wall, right? Once you hit the wall, you jump. After hitting the ceiling, you turn left. And you want to land right around here-ish. Okay? Once you land, you want to wait for the X Factors to cross behind Samus. And shortly after they cross behind Samus, that's when you run to the left. Then, you whiff a particle, and you lose 1,000,000 years, and you lose your run, and you hate life forever, because this strat is the worst, and everybody hates it. Except, not everybody hates it, just me. Okay? I feel like it inherently is less consistent as a strat for people in general. But I feel like there are people out there who find this easier to work with than an audio cue because they're less musically inclined than others. So, like, personally, I'm very musically inclined. But there are other alternatives as well. The thing about the decalled strat is it's so nuanced. Like, obviously, I changed something there. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was. I know that I did, so I'm not blaming that on the game necessarily. But did you see how much different those particles were? Like, if you don't do this very specifically, your results are going to vary extremely, extremely widely. Like, it's just because of how nuanced the strat is. That's just how it is. There's another particle whiff. So, anyway. So you want to run left right around to this hole-ish. It's okay to reposition. And you know, there are ways to kind of save it if you feel like you've messed it up, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not a pro here. I'm not the authority on this strat, and personally I hate it, and I will never condone it. I will never condone it for 100%. It is faster for any percent because it allows you to start shooting your missiles earlier, which allows you to save on super missiles. But in 100%, basically it allows us to start firing our supers earlier, but the way that Batwoon dies, his death animation makes it so it doesn't actually save any time. So. So yeah. I'll do this, I don't know, 5 more times. I think I turned late there. But it still worked. How you handle these patterns is up to you. I don't have specific strats for the patterns for Decald's opener. I mean, I did at one point, but I'm not going to spend the time going over them because I don't remember what they were. Oops. See, that still worked. Anyway. Alright. The strat that I use, I'm going to give a disclaimer here. So I use a music cue, and I've noticed in the latest version of the practice ROM, if you save state in the door at least, there's kind of a very slight delay on the way that the music cues up, so it actually changes it a bit compared to vanilla. So I'm going to explain how I do it in vanilla, and if I keep messing it up, I know this sounds like a cop-out, but if I keep messing it up, blame it on the practice ROM. Okay? Alright. It does not matter if you have power bombs equipped or not coming in the room with this particular variation of the strat. I'm going to have them equipped, but it really doesn't matter. I'm also going to save state here. Upon entering, I position myself underneath the left hole, and then I turn left. Okay? On the 4th note, I shoot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you turn right after the 4th note. Okay, yeah, I can't do this. Can't do this early save state. I'm just... Holy crap, dude. Okay. All right. One, two, three, 4. That's when we shoot. Then you turn right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn right. This is very important that you turn, because turning delays how long it takes for the X Factor to come out. You see the difference there? So turning here is very important. 1, 2, 3, shoot, turn. 2, 3, shoot, turn. And then after the turn, you're going to count the notes again. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on the first set of 6, 4 is when you shoot. So 1, 2, 3, shoot, 5, 6. or I usually count 1, 2, 3, shoot 1, 2. It's just how I do it, but that's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. And then on the second set of 6 notes, you want to jump roughly around the 5th note and release your jump roughly around the 6th note. So I'll show that a few times. I feel like I probably explained this better in my PRKD tutorials. I'll be linking that as well. But just that's kind of how I'm doing this whole thing. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. When you jump, you want to stop roughly around the point where Samus's feet reaches the bottom of the hole. Again, that kind of depends on when you jump in relation to how long it's been since you started the X Factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway. So that's how I do the X Factor opener with the music cue. Again, it's very important that you turn after shooting, turn, and then jump. Okay. See, now I'm screwing it up. I mean, I'm not going to say I've never screwed this up in vanilla, because clearly I have, but the frequency of failure in the practice ROM, like I said, I noticed goes up quite a bit compared to vanilla, because of just some weird delay in the audio processing. And also, for the sake of kind of condensing this, I didn't decide this until just now, but as far as how to deal with Botwoon's patterns specifically, so there is an RNG control in this practice ROM where you can change what his patterns are, but it's broken right now. So instead of brute forcing each pattern and breaking them down, I already did that in my PRKD tutorial. So like I said, I'll link that in the description on YouTube, and I'll do the fight, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 times, and then move on. Okay? That's early. Heckin'. Whoa. Okay. Well, maybe I can't do this over and over. Freaking game. Whatever setup you do, starting your charge on the 4th note, not before or after. I think that's the most important part. Well, yes and no. Because, I mean, so like Behemoth has a thing where, yeah, turning changes the timing. Behemoth has a thing he recently did where he like jumps. He like holds shoot out of the door and then he jumps and then he like turns around a couple times or something. It's weird. So like, there's a bunch of different ways that you can cue this up. That was really late. It still worked. Yep, I knew that was too early. I thought that was too early. The nice thing about this strat, though, is that, like, it's so much less nuanced. Like, if you mess it up, you can almost always point to exactly what you did. Like, oh, I was too early, or I forgot to turn, or I jumped too late, or... You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, my run speed entering the room was different. Or maybe I jumped too late after bonking the wall, or maybe I turned too early after jumping, or etc., etc. Like, oh, Spring Ball Baby Skip is super nuanced, but there's no alternative, and it saves like 5 seconds. That's the difference. This is not an emulator, it's a practice ROM on a flash cart on my Super NES. Alright, so once Botwoon is dead, the drops are going to spawn when his tail explodes on the floor. You can either start on the right here, run left, and go through like this, or you can start on the left, run right, and go through like this. If you start on the right, that's inherently a little bit slower, but you have a better chance of collecting more drops, and it's a little bit easier. The difference is 15 to 30 frames from what I've timed previously. Again, depending on like what position Botwoon dies in and stuff like that. Okay. As you're running through this door, hold shoot on your way out. I was not... So you actually want to land when you're running through the door. You want to land as far left here as you can. If you're too far right, your first shot isn't going to connect, which is what happened to me there. So notice that both of these shots are connecting with this first Puyo. So hold shoot, and then shoot again. You don't actually need to kill this Puyo, but it's nice for consistency through 100% and 90%. The first shot, though, is kind of important because it makes it... It basically guarantees that you're going to make it under the Puyo every time. Hey, thank you for the Prime sub. You want to fire a shot towards the end of this sandpit, right here, which will automatically open this door for you. And now we're going to talk about full halfy. I'm not going to go super into detail here, and I'm going to say kind of the same thing that I said in my PRKD tutorial. So the secret to full halfy is actually that there isn't really a secret. As you get better at the game in general, you will get better at full halfy. If you are specifically wondering what to improve so that you are more capable of doing full halfy, the thing that I can point to most is that you want clean wall jumps. You don't want a million wall jumps. Okay, you don't want like 7 wall jumps here. 1, 2, 3, I can't even do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, you don't want more. You can get up here in 4. You can actually get up here in 3, I think, wall jumps. But, ultimately, what you're looking for are clean wall jumps. So when I say that, what does that mean? Well, basically, you want to be releasing jump between your wall jumps for as little time as possible. So basically, like optimally, you only want to release jump for 1 frame. Okay? As soon as you release jump, Samus is going to start falling. See that? And we don't want her to fall, obviously. We want her to make it up more every single time, as much as possible. So release and repress jump in as short of intervals as you possibly can. Okay? And get used to doing shoot down grabs. A down grab here isn't required, but it will make this strat much easier. So I'm going to break this down. I charge my Shine Spark right around here. I run forward very briefly. Basically, you want to more or less immediately press jump after running forward. And then I do 5 wall jumps here. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of people opt to do 4 instead. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, it's consistent. As you are coming up over this last set of grapple blocks, that's when you want to shoot. Aim down to do a down grab, and then run forward through the door. As far as room times go, if you're in the practice ROM, the room time that you're looking for is probably 255 or lower is going to give you a good shot at having enough frames left to Shine Spark with. So I changed the HUD to show our Shine Spark timer in the top left. We want that number to say at least 10. Okay? So as long as you can have it be saying 15 plus, you're in pretty good shape. That's a 13. We had a really bad down grab there, and we still made it through. So again, it just kind of depends. In order to get good at full halfy, you just kind of have to get good at the rest of the game. You have to get really good at your wall jumps. You have to get really good at timing your general movement, like we're charging our Shine Spark and immediately jumping up, right? You want to get good at your down grabs, because that will help. And then, of course, one of the most crucial things is getting used to performing actions coming out of doors. Alright. Bonking the door isn't a death sentence here, but avoid bonking the door at all costs. Now, this is actually a change compared to how I explained to do this in the PRKD tutorial. So don't, if you've seen my PRKD tutorial on this part, don't turn your brains off, because I'm going to explain something differently here. Depending on the down grab that you got in the last room and how much run speed you had coming into this room, it's going to kind of change Samus's jump speed here. If you don't hold dash here, it kind of makes it easier to time the jump and the shine spark, but a lot of the time Samus is going to have more vertical speed, which will get you this quarter halfie a lot of the time, or you end up too low because you get afraid of the quarter halfie and just the way that her vertical pixel value shakes out, you know, it puts you in a bad spot. So if you're not holding dash coming out of this door, I've noticed there's only a couple of positions that work here. I'm not saying there's only a couple frames that work, but more often than not, you're going to bonk there, or you're going to bonk here. Okay? Right, exactly, Chabo. So, instead, so in my P-Arcadia tutorial, I recommended releasing dash. I am 100% against that now, at this point. The nice thing about releasing dash is it simplifies the inputs in this room, right? Because you're not focusing on switching from dash to jump and then activating your shine spark. But because of the vertical speed nuance, I'm gonna say hold dash here, and you can do one of two things to compensate for the complexity. You can make sure that you grip and press the controller and its buttons in the same way every single time. That's what I have had to do. I've had to literally burn into my memory, okay, I hold the controller in this way with my thumb on this button in this position, and then I move my thumb in this way to push jump, and then I, move my hand in this way to push angle up to activate my shine spark. It used to just be this natural, just do whatever feels good thing. But eventually it got to the point where I realized if I didn't have a very specific thing in mind of how I was doing these inputs, I was screwing it up. So that's my recommendation. Hold dash coming out of this door and just make sure that you basically that you are trying to do exactly the same thing in the same way every single time. That being said, so there's a couple pieces to this. Don't worry about jumping too early, because even if you bonk the ceiling here, as long as you time the shine spark input correctly, you're still going to be able to make it over. Okay? I'm not sure exactly why this is, but I'm guessing that when Samus activates the shine spark, it moves her up a number of pixels, and as long as you're no longer under this corner when that happens, she'll get bumped up and fly over just fine. Of course, you can do the later jump and just not worry about it at all, but sometimes that results in the quarter halfie. Just make sure that you're not if you do plan on bonking the ceiling, make sure that you don't time your shine spark late, or you can still get just a halfie like this. It's not an incredibly tight window, but it is somewhat tight, so. The alternative is to use up for your shine spark input. I personally do not endorse this, but I did main it for about a month, a few months ago, because I didn't have a clear idea in my head of exactly how I was holding the controller and how I was doing what. The problem with using up for your shine spark input is goop sparks. So if you are still holding jump when you push up, that's what's going to happen. So basically, and that can happen with angle up sparks too, of course. But I find it less likely to happen with the angle button. The other thing is, if you use your angle up button to activate your shine spark, you never have to take your left thumb off of D-pad forward, which is really nice. So jump, angle, jump. And yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about full halfy. Okay. If this drops a super, I go for it. You can grab it and make it back onto the ledge. If not, if you sparked high, there is a way to do a down back and avoid this corner. Personally, I never go for that because it's super inconsistent for me. But it is possible. We're not high enough here to do it, but it is possible, just so you know. You can do a short hop off here, or you can run off. But most importantly, I have super selected as I'm falling down, and then I use the edge of Samus's arm cannon to position myself so that I know I'm going to land on the edge here. So basically, I want it to be just barely behind the grapple blocks as we're falling down, or almost behind them, like just barely touching them. Okay, you don't want a gap there, or you're going to fall in the sand. Time your shot to open the door as you fall down. Yo, duck, thank you. And then hold dash and run through the door. Jump off this corner. You can either just jump across like this, or you can do a bounce ball. As long as you positioned yourself on the far corner in the previous room, this bounce ball really is not, it's not too hard. Basically, you just want to jump off the corner right here. Stay in spin for, I don't know, 2 spins. 1, 2. And then morph. You don't need to like do a jump morph into the ceiling or anything like that. Just stay in spin, morph, and again, as long as you were on the back corner before running in and you're jumping, not like as late as possible, but fairly late on this corner, you can just bounce across. Honestly, it's pretty forgiving as long as you have enough run speed. Okay. Then you can just unmorph, angle up, and shoot. Grab the missile pack, do a wall jump, land here, gap skip, jump, select supers, come down here, shoot the door. Just jumping across is faster than doing a Moonfall, by the way. Oops. So like this. That is faster than if you were to come back and land here and do a Moonfall. One thing that I have not timed, but I have a hunch might be faster, is actually doing a Moonfall here and fighting Dragon first, and then going to get the missiles with Space Jump. But I haven't timed it, and if there is a difference, it's probably frames. But I don't know for sure. But it'd screw up all my splits if I did it, so screw that. Alright. After you break this eye door, you want to jump and aim down. The reason we do that is it actually adjusts the door so that we save a couple frames. So if you don't fix the door, so we just got a 57, which is, I believe, perfect for entering a boss room. If you don't fix the door with that jump aim down, you get a 62. So it's literally free. Just shoot the door, jump and aim down, and then run through. And you'll save 5 frames. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's the first leg of Maridia. Like I said, I'm not going to go over Dragon today. Probably do that. I haven't decided how I'm going to handle Dragon. I haven't changed my strat very much at all since I did any percent, but I have changed a couple little things. Yeah, I'll probably just do a full run through, but Dragon might get her own segment depending on how long it takes me to explain in a few minutes. And oh, and I just want to say again, thank you for taking the time to come out and watch this, whether it was on Twitch or on YouTube. And you know, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any time. Always happy to help. If you ask for help while I'm like in the middle of a run or a race or something, I'm not going to be very responsive. But always feel free to like message me, and assuming that, you know, I'm in a place where I can take the time to actually reach out and help with it, then I will. If I already have a like pre-recorded tutorial on it, then I'll probably just link that. But always happy to talk tech in this game. So.